Dude, what? What happened?
I did it.
Did what?
I got all the fake M and AMG and S badges off of the base trim cars. No more lies. No more lies.
Be at peace.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James. And this is the 2019 330, the 2019 A4, and the 2019 C300.
Let's do it.
This is the hero we deserve. The new BMW 3 Series, codenamed G20. This is the 330i, a nameplate with a legacy to live up to. This year BMW has stiffened it, given more torque and more aggressive styling, and they've removed some weight. They've also given it a very high-tech interior. Now, even though they have done away with the manual option, BMW insists that the retuned 8-speed transmission will put a smile on your face. But today, I want to find out if the 3 Series has gotten its mojo back. I was never in love with the F30 generation, so I have high hopes for this one. And everything so far looks like good news.
But who better to stand up to BMW's new kid than the already excellent Audi A4? Understated and besuited, it's even had a slight facelift, resulting in a new front bumper and trapezoid exhausts. As a result, the B9 generation of the A4 is still incredibly composed when sitting at the premium sedan table. This particular one provides sensations to both the eyes and the ears, with its virtual cockpit and a magnificent 19-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. But perhaps more importantly, with Audi comes a legendary all-wheel drive system that goes by the name of Quattro. And yet, while it delivers all of these things, it's still somehow the cheaper of the three today.
But why spend less when you could spend a little more and get something really nice? Like this, the Mercedes-Benz C300. It has a lovely design and excellent levels of comfort. James and I have already reviewed this car, so our plan today is to first take a look at the BMW and the Audi, and then at the end revisit this C300 to discuss our favorites. So let's not waste any more time.
All right, the 2019 BMW 3 Series. This is a really important car to me because I have been building and wrenching on the BMW 3 Series platform for years, and it's the cars that I use as my race cars. So this is the newest version of it, and it's important to me that it's really good, so I'm going to be hard on it.
Okay, setting off in the A4. We're going to get to all the interior and exterior bits later when I talk to Thomas. For now, we're going to focus on performance. Although, first things first, the steering wheel's amazing.
Let's start with the engine. This has the B48 engine in it, which is a turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's part of an engine family. The B58 is the same engine with just 2 more cylinders lopped onto it, and that one's in the M340i, but this is the 4-cylinder. All right, put it into the corners. The torque is really quick. The throttle response is actually very good. This has 295 pound-feet of torque. That's like 20 more than the other two. That's actually more than the E46 generation M3's legendary S54 engine. That's a lot of torque with 2 less cylinders. It's like witchcraft or engineering, however you want to look at it. And I'm sure, and everyone's going to talk about it in the comments, drop a small tune in this car and it's going to be very, very quick. The transmission, 8-speed, is pretty quick. It's not quite as sharp as I want it to be. It pulls reasonably well. There's a lot of low down torque, but it kind of gets a little bit like weak up high. So it has that very modern turbocharged power band.
All right, flooring it. You know what? Oh, okay, too fast. You know what? These cars are surprisingly fast now. Or like this thing is fast. It hits like 100 kilometers an hour in 6 seconds or something crazy. I think Car and Driver hit 60 miles an hour in 5.2 in this. And a lot of that is down to the way it puts the power down through all the wheels, but it's also because it has a lot of torque. Okay, so yes, this is an inline 4. If you want the V6, you got to jump up to the S4. For now, this one has 248 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque, which is exactly the same torque number as that C300, and it hits it at about 1600 RPM, which is pretty much the same as the other two as well. I mean, they're all turbocharged, they're all 4-cylinder, which means they don't sound that great, although I'm pretty sure that BMW's got some synthetic stuff going on to help it.
All right, let's do a launch. So the reason you buy a 3 Series is because it does the commuting stuff really well. I'll talk about that in a second. But then you can get even the basic one out on a back road and it's still fun. BMW obviously put a lot of time and thought into making this car exciting to drive. There's a synthetic exhaust note. The exhaust in the back pops and bangs when I downshift. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear it.
So this uses the 7-speed S-tronic transmission. None of these cars, for the first time ever, come in manual. Tear. But before you start crying too much, there's still some cool things about this car. For one thing, it has launch control, which we're going to test in just a second. But also, the shifts are very, very quick. Okay, launch mode. Foot down accelerator and off. Okay, that moves. That's quite a nice little head throw there, I'm surprised. Remember, not the S, this is an A4. And it can still do that, it can still throw your head back. That's pretty cool. And that's because of Quattro. Tell us more about that, big voice James. Why thank you, Tiny James. Yes, this is the mechanical Quattro. It has a Torsen diff and it sends the power where needed, when needed.
So let's see if the Quattro helps the Audi here. Yes, we're going to do a 0 to 100 test, or a 0 to 60 test in the land of the free. But keep in mind this is a quick off-the-cuff test and is not on a prepped drag strip, but the conditions are all equal. There, that's as near as makes no difference. Back to the review.
All right, you can get a lot of M Sport goodies on these cars. This one has the M Sport suspension and another M Sport package. You can actually option an M diff, the proper LSD, in the rear of the non-even M340 3 Series, which is something that you really couldn't do up until recently. For a while, BMW only reserved their LSDs for their M cars, so it's a big deal that you can get in this car. This one doesn't have it though. It does have X-Drive, which sends most of the power to the rear, which is nice. So there is a very obvious performance feeling to this car when you put your foot down around a corner.
BMW's X-Drive has been improved this year. It's a rear bias setup that only directs power to the front when needed. It can stay rear-wheel drive only for efficiency, but in sporty driving, it really feels rear-wheel drive.
This also has variable ratio steering. Now here's a beef that I have with the car already. Out here, as I'll show you in a second, it's fantastic. The steering is heavy, it's incredibly sharp and accurate, and the steering ratio feels very fast. But on the highway, I actually found it pretty difficult to go straight. Even with the lane keep assist on, it doesn't really want to go arrow straight. I think maybe a different alignment might actually be a better idea.
All right, so if we are going to talk about driving, I'm going to put it into dynamic mode. Things stiffen up, throttle response gets faster and everything gets crazy. Faces blur. Let's take it around some corners. It feels planted, it feels good. Very light on its feet. Got that Quattro all-wheel drive system pushing us through. Yes. Very confident around those.
All right, now, BMW this year has stiffened the chassis of this car by 50%. And honestly, you can feel it. It feels very stout on the road, but the suspension is compliant, so it stays planted. And it does retain its 50-50 weight distribution, which is better than the Audi, which has a 56-44 weight distribution. It's because the engine is so far out the front. It's like the Audi had a big turkey dinner. It's sitting out there. This car is balanced. Everything is inboard. All right. The steering is heavy and actually quite accurate and fast. It just bang, it turns in. And as I push, I can feel the rear start to come out a little bit, which is what you want. X-Drive is known for doing that. It will push more power to the rear and it makes it feel athletic on a back road. But then when you need all-wheel drive, it's there for you.
I was in the SQ5 recently, and I think this deserves the same compliment, where even in comfort mode, you still feel like this level of control and attachment to the car, and it's comfortable. Like it's so wonderful to live with. All right, taking it back into the corners, let's lose some of that composure. Steering feels really great. It's light, it's nice and light, but in like a way that feels accurate and controlled. It's not, it feels great. There's something linear about it that feels super satisfying, unlike the Volvo S60 we just got out of. It feels good. I know Audis are guilty of understeer, and I'm feeling it slightly. It kind of wants to stay out, but all in all, it's good. It's way more fun than I thought an Audi would be, an A4. You know, there's always, and I know A owners have the envy of the S's. You know, it's like, should I have got the S? You know, even they can see there's an S on the steering wheel, and it's there to tease you. But I'm telling you now, going around those corners on these roads, this thing is really, really fun.
So BMW has done a very good job, as they usually do, with the driving position and the comfort as well. In comfort mode, this car calms right down and becomes a very nice car to drive every single day. The steering wheel comes out at me, the seat gets very, very low, and I'm in a really good driving position. This car goes from being very comfortable to quite athletic for the base model really, really quickly. And that is what a good BMW should. So I'm gonna go meet James right now, and we're going to talk about the interior and the styling.
Alrighty,
Yeah?
it's good.
So for base cars, I haven't driven this yet.
For
but
base
this
cars,
is-
North America base cars.
Okay, sure. But for like the non-340i, the non-M3, this is so much fun to drive.
Yeah,
It is honestly insanely fun.
it looks great.
It shouldn't be as fun as it is, but it's fun. Styling, let's do it really quickly. What do we got? Kidney grille, BMW, that's very classically Audi, and that is the best looking car.
Yeah,
It is.
in the blue, I agree.
In the blue,
You
it
see
is
too
good.
many of those in grey, white, or black.
Yes.
The blue's fantastic. It looks like it's stolen it from BMW. though.
These should come in fun colors. I would take Volkswagen's Viper Green on that car, and it would be awesome. It doesn't need to be a boring sedan. None of these do, because they're not.
No.
Okay, I take issue with certain aspects of this front end.
Why? What do you take issue
I
with?
have very high standards for BMW looks. This is too much chrome.
I think
This-
it's fine.
No,
You have to remember they reserve the sportier stuff, the blacks and the.
I would plasti dip it immediately.
You'd plastic it.
This is a little bit overstyled in the front. These headlights are amazing though, and they say they're lasers. BMW laser.
They
How cool is that?
don't change much, the designs of these.
No, none of these do.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was saying, speaking of things that don't change much,
Yes.
the
Ta-ta.
A4. This is the S line.
It
so
is the
it
most muted looking of all of them.
It is, even though it being the S line, it borrows design cues from the S4,
Yes.
but it still looks pretty muted. New for 2019 though, we have these funky, this new.
Situation.
Yes, that's all we'll call it. Situation.
These are the best looking headlights out of all three.
The LED, Audi have always crushed it with LEDs.
Absolutely.
Always crushed it.
And this front end is the best looking. In fact, this is, in my opinion, the best proportioned of these vehicles.
Yes.
It honestly is. This
the
has
best
bigger brakes. Those are proper fixed caliper, double piston, I believe. These are fixed caliper, double piston. And this, in its current spec,
Yeah.
only has the floating caliper single piston, which is not as
That's rubbish.
Take it back.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. You can get the upgrade on that if you want. Should we do the interiors?
Yes.
Let's start with.
To the BMW.
No. Let's do it to the end.
What are you worried about? That thing's brand new. It's all new.
Let's just do the C-Class first, okay? No, we haven't looked at this one yet.
Oh no.
Let's just do it.
All right.
All right. All right, we've reviewed this before.
We have. This has something new though,
This has the digital dash.
and it looks good.
It looks
It
absolutely
looks really good.
fantastic.
And
You
this
know
is the
what?
bigger screen as well.
It really does. But yeah, look at that.
So but the one we were in recently had the. Yeah,
Sorry.
it doesn't
Sorry.
sound great.
It doesn't sound like
Doesn't
good.
sound
Having
great.
fun.
Had the beige interior with the wood paneling.
And that looks better.
This one has so much piano black.
This is an insane amount.
I
of
don't know.
piano
Every
black.
car we get into now seems to have it. It's like
looks
all
great
the
now.
manufacturers went from the Livestrong band convention to the fidget spinner convention to then the piano black convention.
That's right. Yeah.
And they're just like, what shall we do?
This is what we need to do. Yeah. No, this is absolutely insane. It is way too much, but you can get this with wood.
And the wood is nice.
It looks so
really
good.
nice.
It looks so premium. It actually brings the whole vibe of the interior up. We're going to make this brief. We're going to tell you what you need to know about this interior. Right now, we have the coolest system for navigation I have used in
best.
a long time.
The best.
All right, so these two buttons right here will navigate through the entirety of both of these screens, and it is the most intuitive thing.
It's fantastic.
It's so easy to use. Yeah, the one thing I don't like is that, can you hear that?
Did you fart?
No. Just a little bit of creaking to this plastic that I'm not a huge fan of.
I can do it everywhere now.
Yeah. Let's do a push test on all of these cars. So you can get, that is not awesome. However, it looks really good. Ergonomically, this car is fantastic. When clean.
Yeah.
However, I just want to go back to this for just one more second. This screen is the longer one.
Yes.
Right? And it's excellent. Like, it's so easy to navigate this. Check, absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
and I would get the Burmeister sound system.
Yes. Is this okay?
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. We got some cool ambient lighting. The seat adjustment things are on the door, as they usually are. Visually, this is a fantastic looking, even with the piano black, like visually this is a lovely looking
It's a great cabin. This is a great cabin.
This is really good. I mean, that digital gauge cluster absolutely makes it. Audi?
Audi.
Audi.
Okay, welcome to an Audi interior.
This is just crisp, isn't it? It's just, everything is just so nice.
And this is nice and bright, the brushed aluminium.
Push test?
Not nearly as bad.
Not nearly as bad.
Not nearly as bad. Press that.
Yeah, zero noise.
Silence.
Okay.
Beautiful steering wheel. Also a great, this is Audi's virtual cockpit.
And it's excellent, it really is.
Yeah.
This zone right here is so good.
Look at that.
Issues though, I don't like this infotainment. There's
not?
just something about it, I don't know.
Is it your BMW bias shining through?
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but basically...
you hate whatever's in there.
I don't want to talk about it yet, we'll get to it in a second. Okay, so this is fine, but it just feels a little bit 2010 for me. I don't know why. Anyway, this is a nice
It's
graphics.
not, as you hover over it, it comes.
That's graphics. These are good.
Yeah, and guess what? This comes with the Bang & Olufsen sound system.
Bang & Olufsen, it's so good.
Do you know how many speakers are in this car?
A zillion.
19.
19 speakers.
19. This could
Colin.
buy alcohol in Canada, in Ontario.
Good.
I want to see if this is comfortable in the back.
Okay.
And we'll put some footage of Thomas testing out the C-Class in as well. Yeah. Oh, there's like a jump up in the head bit.
Yeah, no, it's good. I've got all the headroom I need.
Wow.
I'm good. I'm good back here, honestly. It's good. Actually, in the back of the C300 is a similar amount of headroom and legroom, but I have my own little sunroof, which is really, really nice. That's the most headroom. That's the most out of the three. Can we do the BMW?
We can.
All right. I have things to say about it. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yes.
We're probably going to spend more time on this because this is the all-new 3 Series, but we're going to be as quick as we can. Now, first things first, visually, the design is very, very good.
It is. This pattern is immediately horrible.
But do you know what it's better than?
Piano black.
Piano black. All right,
All
push. Yeah,
Pretty good.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's solid.
Right? And
Solid.
these, very well made. Okay, very, very stout interior. Let's start the car. Push buttons down there. Okay, first things first. This system right here, I'm not in love with.
Why not?
There's a weird learning curve to it. Also, disclaimer, this is probably a me problem.
What's that do?
But, excuse me. Okay. Ooh, look at all this stuff. Intelligent safety. Yes, this
And there's a touchscreen?
This has an excellent backup camera.
Those aren't touchscreens.
Over, that's true, this is a touchscreen. Oh,
There you go, you made something beep now.
Shut up. This is a very electronic car. I found that the auto hold and the parking brake will turn itself on whenever it wants, it seems. Anyway, this might be a me problem, but I've had a really hard time with Apple CarPlay in this car. Like, it doesn't want to stay connected, and every time I use Siri, it boots me out of it, and then it will say that I'm in a call or I can't answer a call. A lot of weird stuff has been happening, and I hope it's just my iPhone. Anyway, so from the main screen, we've got a drop-down menu. Okay, that's weird. These buttons on the side, and I've got a variety of information screens, which are very cool, right? I don't know how cold it is today.
It looks very smooth as well.
No, but the response is excellent. iPad levels of good, right? It's really, really, really good. However, it's not super obvious how to use it. I'll say that.
Okay.
It's all there.
But is it one of those things where once you learn it, you're fine?
I would think so, yes.
That means you haven't learned it yet.
Well, I haven't had the car very
Yeah.
long, but it's not. The reason is that iDrive used to be very simple.
Okay, so
I can
that's
spin
a
this.
digital gauge now.
I do. Yes. Okay.
It doesn't
So
look as good as I thought it would.
no, you know what? There's too much going on, and I do not like this outside kind of.
Is it dynamic
gauge.
though? Can you modify it?
Yeah, I can change different things in it, right?
But not by much.
I can make where do I go? Here, over here. This makes stuff happen. I got a G meter, pound torque and horsepower, entertainment. It can show me what gear I'm in, all that stuff. It's all there. It's just that, you know what I miss is classic dual BMW gauges. The previous digital, when it like on the M5,
And the M2.
it looks better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. I think it's too overstyled. They tried to be too different.
It's modernizing for the sake of modernizing, rather
Yes,
than,
instead of improving usability.
Fair enough.
This section right here is hilarious. I don't know why we went with the most futuristic looking gauge cluster of all time, but then like a Casio clock.
Yeah.
As my
In fact, how do you move that?
these buttons down here. So the climb is actually fairly intuitive.
Would you say this is a glass half full or a glass half empty type of car?
This is like a glass of water. I've got heated seats that are buttons. I've got a heated steering wheel, which is a button right in the center. The steering wheel is excellent.
You've got heated seats in the back.
I
as
do.
well. Did
yes.
you even know that?
I did know that.
Okay.
This is really nice. This is like the M5 steering wheel.
It's got nothing on the Audi wheel.
It's true, but this
I
is
love
a
that this
really
center actually
comfortable.
looks really nice.
But it's stitched. It looks so good, right?
Yeah.
M badge doesn't need to be there. Now,
So why has it got an M badge? This has got an M package.
this has an M package, okay?
Because
So
that has an S badge and it's an S line package. So I think
Right.
they're both kind of being,
Yeah,
they're being a bit cheeky.
well, they've been doing that for a while. But
Ambient lighting.
ambient lighting looks good. I can change the colors. I love the purple, the lilac. I think it's fantastic.
Wow.
There's also one thing
you
that I can
butcher
do.
a word so much.
Lilac. You try to say it.
You just sound like you're gagging on
Lilac. That's not how I say it. I'm just saying.
something.
Hey BMW, I need a burger. Just wait. Hey BMW, I need a burger.
I can answer for it. You don't.
I don't,
You don't.
this works. It works. I swear it does. Maybe I need to be in drive. Hey BMW, I need a burger.
BMW, I think he's about to kill himself.
Oh my god. So I'll be honest. There's a few quirks with the interior. Because this totally worked last time I was sitting in the car in drive or whatever in park.
Yeah.
These are the microphones right here for that. Anyway, there's a function which we're clearly not going to show you on camera right now, where you say hey BMW and you ask a question.
Hey BMW.
Literally, I said last night, hey BMW, I want a burger. I said it exactly like that,
And it just served one immediately out of there.
yeah, it was a hero burger, so it was really messy. This feels like the most well-built and modern interior out of the three of them, but it is not the nicest. It is not the most
You
intuitive.
think it feels more modern than the... Yeah.
It
okay.
does, right?
That bit does.
Yeah, it's more futuristic and new, right?
Yeah.
All right, do you want to drive this?
Yeah.
Let's do it. You're going to like this car. I promise you're going to like this car.
All right. 3 Series. Now, I know Thomas claims that this car is close to his heart, but I grew up in a family of 3 Series. In fact, I was very lucky that they took me in, seeing as they are inanimate objects. Okay. Hitting the turns. There is immediately a stoutness to this car that the Audi doesn't have. The Audi felt lighter on its feet than this feels. So that's just a preference thing.
All right, in the A4, I'll give you my quick impressions of this car. Let's not waste any time. We're gonna go into dynamic mode, S mode. I'm gonna shift with the paddles. Oh, those downshifts are fast. That is impressive. Very minimal lag. Power comes on right away. Not very much noise though, and the noise that does come through isn't very good.
Okay, so what happens when I floor it? It feels very similar to the Audi in terms of speed, very, very similar. It sounds a little bit better, but I think there's some syntheticness coming through there. It feels really similar in terms of power delivery though.
Turn the traction control off, left foot on the brake, start stop off, and that is impressive. No fuss, just puts the power down. I am a Quattro fan. I'm a BMW guy, but I am a Quattro fan. This is an impressive car on roads that are a mixture of gravel, salt, sand, dirt, snow, mud, and ice. That's 7 things that it can deal with.
So switching to sport mode, paddle shifters, downshifts are nice and quick, but they're also quick in the Audi. Yeah, it's good. It's a great car. Like I said at the A4, it's surprising how well these base models don't make you feel like you're in a base model, which for me is I think that's the highest compliment you can give them.
All right, dive into some corners. Quattro puts more power to the rear because it's proper Quattro, but the inherent design of the front end means it likes to push a little bit. We're gonna see. You know what though? It actually feels really good unless you really, really lean on it. It feels really sharp, actually. The steering is too light for my taste, but it's very accurate.
Okay, time to hit some corners. I'm going to, as they say, deliver it. Wait, is that right? Doesn't matter. Here we go. Oh, losing the back end very easily. That doesn't happen in the Audi. Yeah, where the Audi understeers, this oversteers. That feels good though. This is a different beast to the Audi. So that's the main difference. It oversteers where the Audi understeers. Choose your method of going into a tree.
All right, so these are both very good cars, but the Mercedes is maybe the more premium feeling one on the road. So we're gonna both jump in that car right now and see what it's all about.
Okay, C300.
This is, right away, the most subdued and potentially the most comfortable.
Why?
Because the steering is light, the ride is softer, it's quieter, it's less dramatic.
I think it's similar to the Audi in that way.
It is, but the Audi is a little bit more
This has more
performance-y.
horsepower, 255.
The power delivery is very good. This has how many speed transmission?
This is a 9-speed.
9 speeds.
And so the BMW is
It has
8
eight
speed and
speeds.
the Audi is a 7-speed. So out of 10, this is 9. Technically, it's the best.
Technically, it's the best.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10.
In transmission world. No, this, I think, actually has a really, really good transmission. I can say that confidently. It doesn't have the most aggressive downshifts like the BMW or the Audi.
Yeah.
But off the line, it's geared really, really well. So it feels so brisk.
Power
off the
delivery is
line.
smooth.
It is. Like, that's good. And going around a fast corner right now. And
These
you know
seats are
what?
bolstered, but they're not as narrow as the other ones. So like,
No.
I find myself, they're better if you're a bigger man or woman. They're better.
Like me.
If you've got more going on, generally,
here.
up here,
Yes.
here, then it's better. Yes.
Okay, anyway, pushing it on the back road in dynamic mode right now. You know what? It understeers a little bit like the Audi,
Yeah, I feel so relaxed.
but honestly,
As a
it's,
passenger, there's no fear.
it's so controlled.
It feels really planted. Of
done
all
some-
the gardens, cars, it's the most
It's
planted.
the most planted for
Yeah.
sure. This is got an all-wheel drive system. It has 4MATIC. I would, if I was going to have an all-wheel drive only car, probably the Audi because of the Quattro.
Because it's Quattro season.
It's Quattro.
Bro. Quattro season, bro.
Quattro season.
You
Hashtag
don't call
Quattro
it
season.
4MATIC season.
All right, let's do a quick pull. In-gear torque is okay. It runs out of a little bit of steam as you get near the high. They all have that turbocharged torque.
They're so similar. The torque comes
so
into the
similar.
same point on all cars.
I know,
basically.
within a couple hundred RPM
Yeah.
if it's different. And in terms of horsepower and torque, they feel so similar. The only difference is that the BMW is a little more torque and it's a little bit better sounding. But if you can get over that, then they're the same in the engine department, absolutely.
So let me guess. You would take the BMW.
I would take the BMW.
Yeah, well, guess what?
What?
So
Let me
would
guess.
I.
The app. What? What?
So, listen, I appreciate...
No, did you just pick it?
I appreciate the Audi.
Oh my God.
It's
I
the
can't-
most
this
livable.
This just happened. I'm so
That's not
excited
true.
right now.
The Audi's super livable.
Yes.
It's composed. It's understated. It's good if you want to be in a car.
But
and
you love Audis.
I do. I love the car. I do. But, and that might change if you jump up to the next group of vehicles. So the S4, the C43, and the N340. That opinion might change. Because I know the C43 is badass, and they all are really cool. But for the fun factor at the base level, given that it almost has everything else, the 3 Series would be my pick. This is a bit of an older aimed car than I feel too grown up in it.
So you're honestly choosing the BMW right now. I'm so excited right now.
I am choosing
I'm
the
so
BMW,
happy.
yeah.
It warms my heart.
But
Yeah,
that
okay.
might just be because it's blue. I might
you're a simple man that way.
yeah. Okay, so the Audi delivers Quattro confidence in a compact, understated package. The C-Class is a looker with a sublime ride and handling. And the BMW engages you with a little bit more torque and rear-wheel drive bias.
Yes, it might be a cliche, but all of these cars are excellent to drive and to live with. But the new 3 Series has shown us that BMW is back in business with a proper driver-focused sedan.
Happy driving, and thank you for not smoking.
What? No, James, you fool.
What?
It's,
Thank you for subscribing. Yeah.